Greetings from Florida. We're working on a Porsche 911, Porsche Boxster 99 to 05, 97 to 04. This is the driver's side. The video is at double speed. You saw one bolt behind there. And then, if you pop this off from the bottom, pop it off from the bottom, and you're probably still going to have part of the clip break off at the top. If it's older, it's brittle. But it lifts up a little bit. After you get it off from the bottom, it kind of lifts up a bit, but I still broke the damn plastic off. It's not a big deal, but it's just the way it goes. Yep, there it is. And take off the mirror cover right there. You can just hang it off to the side if it's got a speaker attached to it. And then you're going to take off the reflector light and just unplug it. Would be the easiest way to go. Now, there's one plastic screw in here that's not going to come out. It's just not. It just strips out. I end up drilling it out on both of these. This is what it is. I mean, if you can get it out, great. Maybe a thin knife or screwdriver, but it just doesn't want to work. And the retainer that it goes in is metal, so go figure. So just drill it out, and when you put it back, you get a couple T30 Torx screws there. Behind the airbag cover, what was I trying to get to there? Must be a screw behind there. There probably is. Probably a T30 Torx screw behind there too. Yep. If you need the passenger side for this, I think I have a video of that too. And here's the drilling part. Be careful not to mess up your leather. Make sure you keep the drill chuck away from the leather on the top and the bottom. But that's what I did. I just drilled out the plastic screw all the way. You really don't need it. It's not important. Clips around there are pretty tight, so pull off forcefully. We're undoing the cable that goes to the chrome handle. And we're going to take off, we're not going to unplug the airbag because you need to reset it. It becomes a real pain. So you're going to loosen it to get the cover off. Hang on, I'm going to take off the speaker first. You get 4, I believe, Phillips screws to hold the speaker on. It comes off no problem. Do your best to get it off. I'm going to cut it. Eventually, I'm going to rip it, but that's the way it goes. Now you'll note that I did not unplug the airbag. just put a screw in there, put a screw back to keep it in place. That's fine. You can always put some tape back there to put that water barrier cover back. So what am I taking out there? Oh, you get 2 rubber caps where you're going to get access to the bolts that hold the window on, and you get 2 on the bottom that are going to give you access to the, I think, 10mm bolts that hold the regulator in. I'm just putting the glass down a little bit now. There we go. So unscrew that, take the glass out, and screw the one on the left too. And those were, I believe, T30 Torx, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. Now you get some 10mm bolts to take out, nuts to take out. Those 5, 3 to hold the motor on, 2 at the top, and then 2 on the bottom that you got to get from underneath. And the ones underneath, after you get everything back in, allow you to tilt the regulator forward or backwards so that the glass tilts in or out of the cockpit. If you try to line it up with what was originally there, you should be okay. But it might require a little bit of tweaking. Now, to take the motor off the regulator, and I'm not sure if I showed you this or not. I should have, but I'm not sure if I did. There's 3 long bolts that hold it on. And I believe I used a 13mm from the socket. It might also be 9/16, but I think a 13mm is fine. You'll need a deep socket for that. And no, I didn't show you. I apologize. But that's pretty easy. They only go off one way. They only go on and off one way. They only fit one way. Oh, a little WD-40 on the channel on the side. Always a good idea. Makes it easier to get the glass back in. I'm going to put the regulator back in. Tighten down those 5 nuts. and the two on the bottom. And then, oh, there's a cable tie right there. You'll see it when you take out the original one, and you're going to put it back to hold the cable in place so the glass doesn't get in the way of it as it goes up and down, or it doesn't get in the way of the glass as it goes up and down. Let's turn on the key, try it out. Grab the glass, be careful. Back in it goes. And I was working on a 911. For the Boxster, there's one piece I took off on the regulator that you're probably going to see in a minute. It prevented the glass from traveling all the way down. I think you're going to leave it on for the Boxster. I think it's designed for both cars. And it allows the glass to go to the right level on the Boxster. But for the 911, you'll need to remove that. It's a simple square piece at the bottom of the regulator. At least it was on the regulator that I got. That right there. You're not going to see it, I guess, but right there. That was what I took out. And then I'm closing the door to see if it lines up properly. And again, if you feel if you need to adjust it, there's a couple ways to do it. There's a couple 4.5 millimeter long bolts that allow you to tweak it up and down that way, which if you're a perfectionist, fine, do it that way. What I prefer to do is just loosen the bolts that hold the glass onto the clamps and just adjust it 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch up or down or side to side that way. It's just what I'm used to doing, and I prefer it that way, but whatever you want. And then on the bottom ones, if you feel that the glass is going, if you line it up with where it was, you'll probably be fine. But if you feel that the glass is coming into the cockpit too far or out of the cockpit, doesn't close all the way, those are the bottom bolts, the bottom nuts that you're going to adjust back and forth. And you can adjust that even after the door panel's on. So you can put the whole thing back together, and that you can still adjust anytime. By the way, if this video was helpful for you, I'd appreciate if you would like it. That's all you gotta do, just like the video. That'll help other people find it on YouTube, and it helps me with YouTube. Putting back the rubber caps at the top, and then don't forget the ones at the bottom. For what it's worth, Bosch, B-O-S-C-H tools, Bosch tools, they are the best. I've had really good luck with them over the years. Best quality, best customer service. I've used everything over the years. If you ever need to do the rear windows, there's a company, they're expensive to buy, the convertible windows. There's a company on the other coast of Florida, Window Motor World. Window Motor World does a fantastic job rebuilding those quarter glass regulator windows for the back of the Porsche. Quick turnaround, better than new. Totally impressed. I wouldn't rebuild the front ones only because they're not that expensive to buy anymore. Now, don't forget the cable that goes to the chrome handle. Otherwise, you won't be able to get out of your car unless you put the window down and open it from the outside. So remember to put that back on. Torx 30 bolts, smaller Torx 30 bolt behind the airbag cover. I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you. And again, if it is, please like the video. It helps me a lot. And thank you very much. Take care.